Hi and welcome to Vintage Doll Collector. Today I want to share with you some dolls I bought recently from a woman who was downsizing from a 9-room house to a 3-room apartment. There's a little bit of everything here from antique to modern. This antique doll is by Gebruder Kuhnlenz. Gebruder is German for the brothers, so Kuhnlenz would have been their family name. According to Linda Edwards' Doll Values book, they were in business from 1884 to 1935. She's 20 inches tall and has a bisque head with sleep eyes. She has a dimple in her chin and porcelain teeth. Her human hair wig is a newer replacement. I'll show you the mark on the back of her head. See the G, B, R, and K? The 165 is the mold number. The other numbers are probably size numbers. And it says Germany at the bottom. She has several layers of old clothing. Her body is composition, with ball-jointed arms and legs. Gebruder Kuhnlenz was a porcelain factory, so her body would have been made by somebody else, but there aren't any markings on it. She has a nice face, don't you think? This pretty little China head doll has the low-brow hairstyle. Someone covered her arms with blue fabric at some point. It looks old. I like her black dress, although it looks like she's in mourning. Both of her feet are broken off. That's not too difficult to fix if you have suitable replacements. I got a couple of nice composition dolls in the lot. Both have had some restoration done. This girl has a mohair wig and beautiful brown tin sleep eyes. She has a happy expression. I think the baby's eyes have been replaced with some of a later vintage. You can see the difference between the compo on his hand and his face. Whoever restored his head did a good job. Both dolls are unmarked. Now this is a very unusual doll. I've never seen one of these before. I thought at first he was bisque, but he's actually composition. This arm and this leg are joined together with a metal spring. It looks like the spring broke on the other arm and leg and somebody just tied them together. He's marked Silver, Denmark on his back. I googled Silver doll but couldn't find any information at all. Do you know anything about this doll? If so, please leave a comment. I was excited to find this doll in the lot. This is a Godey Lady doll by Ruth Gibbs. These dolls were made in the 1940s in New Jersey. I've had the smaller version, which is 7 inches tall, but this is the first time I've had the 12-inch doll. If you can read the label on the bottom of the box, it says she came undressed. There was a McCall's pattern out at the time, which made a cloth doll, but the outfits would also fit this doll. Let me take her out so we can see her better. She was made to resemble an antique China head doll, but her skin tone is very pink, whereas most of the antique ones are white. She has gold-painted shoes. She has a cloth body under all these layers of clothing. The dress isn't removable, or I would show you. Whoever made the outfit did a nice job. I love the dark green. Here's another vintage American-made porcelain doll. This is a Nancy Ann's Storybook doll, and her name is A February Fairy Girl for Ice and Snow. She was part of their Dolls of the Month series. She's pretty dirty, but I bet the dress would wash up nicely. She has the bottom of her box, but not the lid. She does have her little booklet, though. This little box decorated with hearts holds a Kerr and Hinz all bisque baby. This company made knockoffs of the Nancy Ann Storybook dolls. The piece of cardboard holding him in place is marked with the company name, Santa Clara, California, Model B. I already have one of these babies, so I'll be finding him a new home. Here's another miniature painted bisque baby. This one has an open mouth. He's marked 1509 Germany on his back. Here's a comparison of the two. I got this Vogue Ginny doll, well, most of her anyway. She's missing a leg. Take a look at her face. This is what they call a painted lash Ginny. The paint on a lot of these dolls has turned this lime green color over time. She has some other damage to her face too, a gouge above her eye and another one here. I really don't have the time it would take to fix her up, so maybe I can find somebody to adopt her. This is a Honey Walker doll made by F&B in the 1950s. Her walking mechanism still works. Her wig feels like human hair. I wonder if it's original or if it's a replacement. I'll have to do some research and see if any honeys came with human hair. I don't collect hard plastic dolls in general, but Honey is one of my favorites from that era. She definitely needs a wardrobe upgrade, though. This is a Jill doll by Vogue from the late 50s, early 60s. She's not in perfect shape. One eyebrow is worn off, but she does have some tagged clothing and her original shoes, which are always nice to find. This vintage Glamour bride is probably from the early 1960s. She's marked A on the back of her head, so was probably made by Arrow. She's about 20 inches tall. She needs a little cleaning up, but her hair is very nice. These sets of premier doll jewelry were made in the late 50s for 15 to 20-inch dolls, like the bride we just looked at. Most of them are the same set, a necklace and earrings with seed pearls and gold beads. There's also this set, with the beads made to look like flowers. And this set with the faceted pearl beads. And this one, which has a bracelet too. The beads in this set have become discolored, it looks like. Check out this wind-up puzzle cat in the original box. It's a tin toy made in Japan. I wound it up and it does work. I think it's supposed to zig and zag and instead just goes straight ahead. Still kind of cool. I got a few other wind-up toys too. This one's called a Kid Along, made by Tomy and dated 1977. She's supposed to wiggle her butt and crawl, but she doesn't work too well. When you wind up this tin rabbit, he hops. Well, sort of. He's marked Made in Japan with a K logo. And this one is called Swim Champ, made by Bandai in Hong Kong. Let's see if she works. Pretty cute. I wonder if she'd actually swim if you put her in the water. They made a boy version too. Here's another wind-up swimmer, probably from the 50s or 60s. Unfortunately, he doesn't work. He's 9 inches tall and the mark on his back says Brian, Pat Penned. Have you ever seen one like him before? I was happy to find a Tammy and Pepper in the lot. Tammy was a Barbie competitor made by Ideal in the 60s, and Pepper is her little sister. Tammy's wearing some vintage clothes that are not original to her, and they seem a bit too small. But she has a really nice face with good color. This is actually a posin' Pepper. Her arms and legs are soft and have wires in them for posability. But she must have been played with a bit too hard. Both her legs and one arm don't hold a pose any longer. Her clothes are not original either. I have several Tammy and Pepper dolls already, so not sure if I'll keep these. This is a Kissy doll by Ideal, made in the 1960s. These clothes are not original, and they're too big, so let's lose them, shall we? She's 22 inches tall and made of blow-molded vinyl, so she's not too heavy for a child. When you pull her hands together, she's supposed to pucker up and make a kissing sound. Unfortunately, this one doesn't work anymore, which is pretty common with these dolls. I fixed a Kissy doll many years ago. I think there's a cord that goes from one arm to the other and attaches to the mouth. It's probably gotten stretched out over time. I was really excited to find this Ideal Chrissie doll in her original box. She's a grow hair doll. The box is dated 1969. I'm going to take the plastic off her head so she can breathe. She's minty fresh, so beautiful. She came with her original hairbrush and paperwork too. Here's a letter explaining to the mother how to make sure the kid doesn't wreck the doll's hair. And this explains how the growing hair mechanism works. I have a couple of other Chrissie dolls, but not the basic Chrissie. I've been waiting for a nice one to come along, so she's a keeper. My Chrissie doll also had this flyer in her box. It was a monthly subscription thing where they would send you a booklet and pictures and a map of various countries around the world. The first one came with a Japanese doll, but apparently that was the only doll. You didn't get a doll every month. Here's a cool advertising doll. This is the Gorton's Fisherman. His clothes don't come off easily, so I don't want to force them. He's got his pipe in his mouth and is ready for any kind of bad weather. This is a Ken clone, probably from the mod era, late 60s or early 70s. He's marked on his chest, made in Hong Kong. He's a pretty cute dude. This is a nice vintage Russian nesting doll, Matryoshka. We had a speaker come to our doll club meeting last year and give a program on how these dolls are made. I remember she said the spirals are a common decoration that's made by taking some rolled up material. Was it cardboard or fabric? I don't remember. Dipping it in paint and then stamping the design on the doll. A cute little boy dressed as a catcher for a baseball team. He's a squeaky toy. He's well marked on the back of his hat, made in Korea, EY Industrial Company Limited, 1971. Here's a Horseman Heavenly Baby doll in her original box. I took the plastic off the window because it was damaged. She's a drinking wet doll and comes with the bottle. Heavenly Baby was made in different sizes with different molds through the 70s and 80s. I think this one is from the mid-80s. Horseman made some adorable babies. Here's a set of 2 dolls by Suzanne Gibson from 1987. They're pretty cute. They're called La Petite Patineuse, which I'm guessing means the little ice skater since they both have skates on. This isn't the kind of thing I collect, but I do love boy and girl pairs of dolls. Here's a better look at the boy's face. And this is the box they came in. This is a kit to make a reproduction Brujon doll from Doll's Part. Here's the head, which is actually quite nicely painted. The arms and legs are porcelain too. And here's the cloth body. The kit didn't come with a wig or eyes, you had to buy those separately. It did come with a pattern to make her outfit, as shown in the photo. I couldn't find a date on anything, but it was made in Taiwan, so I'm guessing it's from the early 80s. This odd pair of dolls are called Hebe and Shebe. The original Hebe and Shebe were composition dolls made by Horseman in the 1920s. This set is made of hard vinyl and was issued in 1992. What do you think, cute or ugly? They made a few different sets of these in addition to the bride and groom set. You could also buy them individually. The Shebe doll's wedding dress has become yellowed. I might try and take it off and see if I can whiten it before I put them in the shop. This is the box. Here are a couple of Peggy Nesbitt dolls I got in the lot. The original rubber bands holding them in place have disintegrated, so I'll take them out and give you a better look. This one is Mary, Queen of Scots, in her Fotheringay costume. I googled Fotheringay and found out that it was the name of the castle in which Mary, Queen of Scots, was imprisoned, so I guess this is her prison uniform. This one is Queen Elizabeth II, in robes of the Order of the Garter, which is the most senior order of knighthood in Britain. I looked up the wording which is on the patch here. It's in Middle French and means, "Shame on him who thinks evil of it." Now this is pretty awesome. This is the original gem doll by Hasbro from 1985. She has light-up earrings and comes with an extra outfit. The back of the box tells the storyline. Offstage, she's Jerica, the cool chief executive of Starlight Music Corporation. On stage, she's Jem, the hottest new rock star to hit the music scene. It shows some of the other dolls and the car that were available. I also got this one, Rock and Curl Jem. The box is dated 1986. She has longer hair with a pink streak in it. She also has a smiling face, which is a nice change from the original Jem, who's totally expressionless. Here's the back of the box, which shows her outfit a little better. These dolls are so 80s, aren't they? Solo in the Spotlight Barbie is a reproduction of the early ponytail dolls, in a repro of one of Barbie's iconic outfits. She's dated 1994. Can you see the elastic that was originally holding her dress up? It's become yellowed and detached over time and looks like it's sticking to her, so I think I might debox her before it does permanent damage. I got one of these when they were new, but I had somebody redo her hair, so I think I might keep this one too. I remember Winter's Eve Barbie being around when I first started collecting dolls in the 90s. Her box is dated 1994 and was a Sam's Club exclusive. She's a pretty doll for Christmas. The backdrop is nice with the fireplace and staircase all decorated for the holidays. If I had more room, I would keep her. I'd take her out of the box, though. The pink kind of clashes with the red and green. Anniversary Star Barbie was a special issue for Walmart to commemorate their 30th anniversary in 1992. She's a pretty blonde. The back of the box shows her dress a little better. Lavender Looks Barbie is one I hadn't seen before. She's another Walmart special and is dated 1989. She's got purple eyes to match her outfit. The back of the box shows how her skirt converts to a jacket. Tropical Barbie, Ken, and Miko are from 1985. The girls have very long hair, and Barbie's is two-toned. Miko has a gorgeous face. This was back when the swimsuit dolls had actual swimsuits. I was looking at some new dolls at Walmart the other day, and the swimsuits are printed on their bodies now. The complete set included Skipper, but she didn't come with this lot. Southern Beauty Barbie, dated 1991, is another one I had never seen before. She was exclusive to Winn-Dixie stores, which we don't have in this part of the country. Her box is a little squished, too. The white version of Peaches and Cream Barbie is not too hard to find, but this black version is pretty rare. It's too bad the plastic on a lot of the 80s dolls gets yellowed. Oh well, good excuse to take her out, right? I wasn't sure what this plastic thing in the box is, but the side of the box tells you. So many ways to wear her stole. Spin the dial and choose one. Here's the back of the package. This box is pretty squished too. I'm not going to open it though because I'm probably going to sell her. I'll let the next owner do it. This is a Mattel I Love Lucy doll. They made several dolls in the series. This one is Lucy's Italian Movie. I think that's the one where she stomps the grapes. I'm not a huge Lucy fan, but this doll has a pretty face. I bet she would look good in vintage style outfits. I got 4 Hallmark Barbie ornaments. They're too big for my little Christmas tree, but they do all have a flat base so you can stand them up. Not sure if I'll keep these or not. I love Barbie, but I'd rather use my limited space to display actual dolls. They would make a cool Barbie collection for an 18-inch doll though, wouldn't they? Sunrise in America, made by Gator Box, was a series of dolls dressed to celebrate various holidays and special occasions. This is the Christmas doll, dated 1982. She came with a metal charm bracelet with a little plastic Christmas tree charm. The back of the box tells about the series. These dolls of all nations represent Scotland and Holland. They're about 10 inches tall with painted eyes. Here's a better look at the Scottish girl. The back of the box shows the whole series. They were made in Hong Kong, so are probably from the 80s. These two are smaller dolls, about 8 inches tall, and have sleep eyes. The Scottish doll's furry hat kept falling down over her eyes. I finally had to take her out of the box to fix it right. The French girl wears a pretty lace cap. The only name on the box is Ilko. I got a couple of clothespin dolls to add to my collection. They have very simple faces and big poofy dresses. The maker signed them in the bottom, Carol Benson of Indialantic, Florida, Christmas 1990. That seems fairly new to me, but then I realized that 1990 was actually 30 years ago. Wow, am I old. These two are premium dolls, advertising Northern Tissue. The blonde is dated 1990, and the redhead is dated 1993. Northern offered at least 5 different dolls, starting in the 80s. They're nice dolls for a small child with soft, cuddly bodies. I've seen them described as being made by horsemen, but I haven't been able to verify that. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to be notified when I have new videos posted, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon. See you next time.